All right, so now that you have seen some of the details about filling out your registration card, we're going to get into some of the more details about the actual registration process. So some of the resources you're going to want to use while you are working on registration for your own classes is the registration website, which is linked right here, your registration card and instruction sheet that was mailed home to you, and potentially the CMS High School Planning Guide. This is the registration website. Everything that I'm talking about today, any forms, documents, paperwork you need, any instructions, explainers, videos, everything about registration is going to be on this website. The link to your counselor registration meeting, the schedule of when you're going to have that meeting, everything is on this website. So I'd highly recommend you visit this website or at least write down the address so that you can visit it if you need it later on. So the general process is going to be that we're going to have this information today, and then between now and February 9th when registration starts, we have a couple of events that could help you get some questions answered for you. So the first thing is counselors are going to have live question and answer Zoom sessions. These are just drop-in sessions for you or your family to drop in and ask any counselor at Ardrey Kell a specific question that you have, a question that you're unsure about. How do I do this? What does this look like? Those are going to be on January 26th and 27th, and we do have 4 times available, no registration needed. If it's your first time taking AP, like I mentioned in the video, we do have an AP panel for first-time AP students, and there is a registration for that linked here. On February 2nd, that is the day that you'll actually enter your course request into PowerSchool. So I want you to think about what you're doing right now as a worksheet. Think of your course registration sheet as a worksheet to prepare you for February 2nd homeroom, because that's the day that you're actually going to access PowerSchool and use your sheet to record your classes in PowerSchool before you meet one-on-one with your counselor to review your selections. On February 3rd and 4th, you can return your completed card and any forms to the school. If it's easier for you to email it, we also have an email address for you to email any scanned forms, your registration card to as well. So beginning February 24th for rising 10th graders and continuing through, I'm sorry, rising 11th graders and continuing through March, counselors will meet with every 10th grade student to review your course selections on Zoom. We do have those meeting times assigned by homeroom. So just like last year where you were called to the media center by homeroom, this year you have an assigned time and date by homeroom. You'll be in the waiting room in our Zoom and we'll pull you in one by one to review your selections just like we would in person. If we are in the building at that time, you'll just step out of class to get into the Zoom room. Okay, so completing your registration card, this is going to be just an overview of what was in the video, but it's great if you need it on paper or in front of you. This is a good way to come back to it. So you're going to be, of course, marking your top 8 course selections with an X, and then choosing 6 alternates with in the boxes as well. You only are going to choose courses on your registration card. You do not need backups for your core classes. Beware that some classes do have prerequisites. So for example, you can't take like Sports Marketing 2 without taking Sports Marketing 1. Those are marked again with asterisks. Some classes do require a teacher recommendation, and we do ask you to get those. For arts classes, we will have those with us. So you don't need to worry about necessarily asking Miss McFarland which course class you're going to be in. We're going to have those lists, and we'll edit those when we meet with you one-on-one. Some classes do require an application, and all those applications are available on the registration website. Class formats, of course, you know this by now. They're either 4x4 or 8A B day. You have to have pairs of 8A B day. One has to be on 8A, one has to be on B day. So either 1 pair, 2 pairs, or 3 pairs, or 4, I guess. Standard versus honors, again, this is something that as a rising 11th grader, you probably have a good sense of at this point, if which classes and which levels you might be at. But the biggest piece of information I want you to take away from this slide is that your current teachers are going to be the best helpers in helping you decide exactly what level is going to be best for you next year. So please don't hesitate to reach out, even if it was a teacher from last semester. Just shoot me an email and say, hey, I'm working on my stuff. Would you recommend Honors Math 3 or regular Math 3? What do you think? Here's a nice little chart to show you exactly what class to pick next. A lot of it's pretty straightforward, especially going into 11th grade, but if you do not know what class is next, here's a chart you can use. And electives, again, just kind of what you're interested in. By now, you probably have a pretty good idea of what electives you've enjoyed and which electives have just not been quite as enjoyable for you. So every class does have a description on the registration website, like I showed in the video. And you can access that to figure out exactly what is fashion merchandising, what is biomedical technology going to look like. And those should be very helpful to you. And again, consider your whole course load. We want you to be challenged, but not overwhelmed. So we want you to just hit that sweet spot in the middle where you're feeling like you're accomplishing something new and doing something different and getting good grades, but not so overwhelmed that you just can't, you know, do anything else with your life but school. Alternates, of course, after you choose your top 8, we need 3 bold and 3 non-bold, otherwise known as 3 8A B day and 3 semester-long classes. We just use these in the event that one of your top choices does not work out. At this point, again, you've probably seen this happen with 1 or 2 of your elective classes. Again, we do not need backups for your core classes. AP guidelines, guess what? This year you have no limit on the number of AP classes you can take if you want. So the biggest thing is just to be sure that you do have an AP contract signed by the time that you turn in your registration sheet. We really want you to get a teacher recommendation if possible, but we do understand that that's not always possible in this virtual setting. But again, you are unlimited in your AP selections this year. Mostly, we want you to consider the rigor, consider the workload, use the AP tab on the registration website to watch videos, read in, over some guidelines from the AP teachers themselves to see if it really would be a good fit for you and not just because somebody told you it's good for college. That's not always kind of the way that we want to look at our schedule. We want to make sure that these classes fit for us, not for everybody else. NCVPS is a program that we use for classes that we don't teach in the building. So for example, sometimes kids want to take like Mandarin Chinese. And so that would be something that you may use NCVPS for. Again, this is for only for classes we do not teach in the building. And there is a website right there for you to read a little bit more about that process. Dual enrollment in Career and College Promise in 11th grade. This is kind of when you get to start thinking about if you want to take classes at CPCC. Again, something to very seriously consider exactly what this is going to look like for you. Don't take them just to take them, but take them if you really feel like you are ready for the next challenge, because it is a harder level. It is considered AP level classes. So please make sure you're reading over this information and the information on the AKVC3 website about that if you are interested. So what's the next steps? Again, drop into the Q&A sessions, speak to your teachers about recommendations. Please don't hesitate to email your counselor with any specific or individual questions about registration after you look at the website and kind of view all the videos. Make sure you complete your card by February 2nd so you can use it in homeroom. And then of course, turn in your card or email it to us and attach any AP contracts to that. If anything comes up again, please do not hesitate to reach out. We're so happy to help you guys with this, and I hope you have a great day. Bye-bye.